Hi everyone, it's Fons.
And Miz.
And we just want to give you a quick reminder, if you can please give us a follow on Spotify, give us a subscribe on YouTube, and don't be shy with the 5-star reviews.
Yes, we do appreciate them, and it helps us spread the word amongst the people out there.
Not happy, Jack!
Wax on, wax off.
Cigarettes.
Excellent.
Hello and welcome, Midlifers. We are your hosts, Fons.
And Miz.
And this is our weekly podcast where it's not self-help, but more help yourself to a smorgasbord of nostalgia, laughter, and a deep dive into the past.
This week, our Then and Now is an interesting one. We're calling it accessible information. What the hell are we talking about? You shall find out soon. We're ranting or raving. Modern medical appointments. What the hell are we talking about? You shall find out soon. Who did it better battle?
Oh,
Tearjerkers from the 80s. We've got two movies which are entrenched in our core memories. Beaches versus Steel Magnolias.
so come join us.
Then and now, accessible information.
Control, Alt, Delete.
So, what are we
Okay.
talking about, Fons? What does accessible information mean?
In my opinion, I think it's about locating people. So if you want to find someone's address, someone's details, it's then how you did it and now how you do it.
Okay.
So then, easy, white pages, yellow pages. You can easily do the stalk. Like, did you ever stalk your crush or anything?
Oh, I don't think it's as easy as you're saying, because you did have the white pages. If they had a common surname of Smith, there's so many to choose from. You know this story I'm about to tell you.
This is Mez's first stalking experience.
I'm so embarrassed. And again, similar to one of the other episodes of like, what the hell were you thinking when you're young? Our grade 5 teacher, I won't say her name, but I loved her. She was fantastic. She went on maternity leave. So what did I do? I looked up her number in the white pages. There were about 15 numbers in the local area with her surname. So I rang every one of them until I found, does whoever live here? Her husband, I presume, said, yes. I just hung up the phone. I didn't say who I was. I'm like, I've got the information I need. I wrote her a letter about the things that have been going on in our classroom, and I mailed that letter. I never heard from her again. I'm just thinking she probably got it and was like, what the fuck?
Especially like maternity leave. She probably just had her baby and she gets you sending her a letter.
Stalking her. So anyway. So
And she doesn't care about the classroom.
No,
at that
I was
stage.
saying like Vanessa did this week.
You dibba-dobber.
No, but it wasn't like, it was more like a funny thing she
You're
did.
like from Bridgerton and writing the gossip.
I miss Bridgerton. But it's Miss Bridgerton?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, the lady that does the newsletter. But yeah, it was so random. But there was a bit of work in there. So it wasn't just knowing up.
You worked.
I did work.
But then, like, Mez, you still have to work now, like with your Facebook stalking or LinkedIn and all that.
We'll get
I
to
will
the
wait
now.
till then, but it's all work.
It is all
It's
work.
effort, but worth the effort.
But the difference is the phone number. So yes, now it's like you can't just get a phone number as easily. I don't think so.
True.
But I'm thinking if you had to find out, someone, it'd have to be also along the grapevine. Oh, my grandma knows this person. They will have their address. My grandma calls that person. That person will look up in their little Rolodex.
Yes.
To find
Yes.
freaking Rolodex.
I put was it a Rolodex or a Teledex? Yeah, and had the clicky thing with the alphabet.
Yes, and they'll pop it up and there's the list. It's like you have to go through the grapevine to find that information that you need.
It wasn't at your fingertips.
No.
As the Yellow Pages would have liked to. Well, the Yellow Pages, it's like let your fingers do the walking.
Yes, and obviously as a business, that's for businesses. Yes, Yellow Pages.
Do you remember
were
the
one.
Yellow Pages and stuff, and the White Pages will get delivered to your door?
Yes, once a year.
Thud.
Yeah, there's huge. They're freaking huge. So you
Yeah.
have to fill up half, a shelf of your cupboard
With your encyclopedia. You had your Britannica, and then you had your Yellow Pages.
So I
next
wasn't
to it.
fancy enough to have the whole encyclopedia. I actually didn't have any. My cousin, I think,
How
had
did
about
you get
3
information?
From the library, biblioteca.
Biblioteca.
Biblioteca. Yeah, but I was also randomly, if you had a crush, and I remember this, if occasionally seeing the local newspaper or saying, "Oh, me and you had this." Like, put it in the personal saying,
yeah.
"Me and you had this chat on the train. Which train it was? You were wearing a red top, and if you'd like to get in touch, that's how you do it. You have to put it out there and just hope
It was
for the best."
in the local paper.
Yes, yeah, but you'd have to rely on.
I used to get sad about those.
I never
Because I used to read, because I remember reading it and it was like they were saying I'm 59-year-old male, bit lonely, whatever.
Oh, you were talking about the one ads.
Yeah.
That's a
and
bit
I used to
different,
get sad, like, oh, he's 59 and lonely.
now
And I
it's
imagine
just-
it's a really old man, but now it's like creep.
After this grotty man saying, "Send me a picture of your feet."
How much? $200. I'll send you my feet. But what about getting information or people wrongly spreading information on the toilet walls or the playground of people's phone numbers, like ring a root, or if you're after a good time, call this number. And people put their sworn enemies.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I
Especially
remember
at
it.
pubs and nightclubs as well, randomly.
I remember in our park across the road from our house, we had this giant egg.
Yes.
And the egg that spun.
I hated that egg.
It
I
smelled
got
like
so-
pee. And
That's
in
what
it,
so
it
nauseous
was
on it.
grotty, but in it were all phone numbers. It's like, call for a good time. If you want drugs, call this number. And 5 years old, I'm like, all right, what does that mean? Yeah.
Oh, that's a
That
good
was
one.
old school.
Old school. Now.
Now, step out from the past and into the new. Okay. Facebook stalking, Instagram stalking, sliding into DMs.
Yeah. I've never slid into DMs.
I slid into my husband's DM.
Ah, that's right.
I stalked him. I Googled him.
Can we tell the quick story? Because Fons did actually know her husband is her first boyfriend.
Yep. When we were 20.
So then they broke up, lost contact, and then Fons one day goes,
I woke up and his name popped into my head, but I couldn't remember his surname.
Yeah.
So I stalked our mutual friend's Facebook to try find him there, found his name, went into Google, found his image, go, he's hot, I'm going to see if he's single. Went into his Instagram, looked through his photos, checked if he was single. He was single. I slid into his DM saying, hi, remember me. And he said, I was been waiting 16 years for you to come back to my life.
oh, that's nice.
And you know what I also found out?
What?
I was still in his will to get his CDs.
Ah.
And I told him to take me out of them. But it's like what you did with the teacher. I did a whole heap.
Reconnaissance.
Yes.
Yeah.
A whole heap of tracking to find out if he was single.
Yeah.
And he was. And look at me now.
Look at you now.
Look at me now.
Yeah. It's weird because my husband and I have been together for, been married almost 15 years, but been together longer than that. And I've known him my whole life. So, when we first started dating, social media and stuff wasn't a big thing. So I've never actually Facebook stalked a boyfriend or anything like that.
Yeah.
I have checked out, I suppose, people from high school. You just wonder, I wonder what they're up to. But I'm too scared to go far because I feel like they can track you and think, this person's checked you out. So I just
Do you know what's funny?
scared.
Being on the other side and knowing that people have stalked us.
I always just assumed there was a way that they could find out if you stalked them.
There's
or
only a
checked them
way
out.
because, for example, here's a bit of information. So if you check out someone's stories, you can see their name that they've checked you out.
Okay.
So you might not like it, but we know you've checked us out.
Come on board.
Yeah, we want your follow.
We need it. Give it to us.
So don't be shy. If you're stalking us, come follow us. We welcome you.
But in saying that, like how much information is out there, like that, the stalking. But then I think, there's been so many hacks of like Optus, Medicare, blah, blah. And I feel like on the dark web, all that information is there.
It's
I
all
can find
out
my
there.
colour underwear there. How you get to the dark web? I have no idea. I really have no
I've
idea.
I've asked about the dark web and how to enter it.
I don't want to. I'm too scared.
Do you imagine it to be black? I imagine it to be
I
black.
feel black.
It's gonna be
Yes.
black.
And then like there'll be clouds around me and I'll be like,
Not clouds. It's like that green writing.
oh, the green. It has to be that
And
green.
like, bad people everywhere. But because that's called doxing. So there are people who will threaten you to release all your information on the dark web to sell. And also on top of that, if you have an OG email address.
Yeah.
So, for example, mine's an OG email address. I created it in
Font69 at hotmail.com or something. To these stupid emails.
but like an OG account. So, for example, someone had the account lizard at hotmail.com. And that was an OG because you can't get lizard on its own anymore.
Yeah.
So she got doxxed. So they hacked into her Snapchat and threatened to, if she didn't pay a certain amount of money, they'd release her details so they can keep her email address, sell it on the dark web.
Really? Oh my God.
So I know with mine, because mine's a great original email address.
Have you been threatened?
So many people have tried to hack into my thing because I get the
Really?
Microsoft login,
Yeah.
and like nearly every day I get someone trying to hack in. I'm like, you don't know what my password is. I don't even know what my password is because it's from the bloody 90s. Good luck.
No one's touching this account.
No one can touch my account.
Not even you.
No. Rant, rave, rant or rave. Yeah. Today we are ranting and or raving modern medical appointments. How times have changed from ye old 1990s
Or 80s.
or 2000s.
It's changed. It has probably
Times
been.
have changed.
Obviously, a big one. I think COVID was the biggest catapult.
The introduction of modern medical appointments.
Okay. What are we talking about?
What I've done is talk about telehealth.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with a rave about telehealth. It's accessible. There's no waiting room. Like you just sit in your own house. So if you're feeling like I've got a really terrible cold, you don't have to leave your bed.
Yep.
Often it's a phone call. I've never really had a
Zoom
video
one.
chat.
Yep.
Yeah. And they email you your prescriptions and your referrals.
Okay.
But the only rant I have about it, and this happened to me today, I forgot to pay my bill. And it's been 2 weeks since my last telehealth appointment, and I just remembered to pay the bill for it.
Don't you get reminders?
Nah,
Ah.
I don't think so. But I was in the car. I'm like, I've got to pay my bill. It's like 2 weeks ago.
Isn't it weird how you feel like that? Like, oh, something happened 3 weeks ago. Shit. Just popped into my head all of a sudden.
And because, good girl energy, I'm just like, got to pay that now. So that's what I always forget to pay the bill.
I have walked out of an appointment for totally forgetting to pay.
Ah.
But then by the time I get home, I get an email saying, oh, you've forgotten to pay by credit card. I'm like, cool,
Yeah.
cool. So your doctor's got to get with it. Tons. My ranting, I'd agree with you about the rating for telehealth in the fact that you comfort up your own home, especially when you feel like crap. But I do find that, not that they cut you off, I feel like the time is limited or they're not as
Personable?
It's not as personable, and I feel like, I don't know, you sort of, even for myself, I sort of tend to cut things short, whereas if I'm in there as they're sort of writing things or whatever, I'll think, oh, actually I want to delve further into this. So I feel like we sort of brushed off a bit with the telehealth.
It's not like a bit of a boundary on it.
Yes, yeah, it's not as
Interesting.
in-depth. That's my...
Doctor might like that though.
Oh, yeah, doctors love it.
Yeah.
And with the Zoom one, I haven't done one because I just find Zoom awkward anyway.
I've never had the opportunity to, oh, actually I have.
Yeah.
This was with a specialist appointment. Oh, Mez, it was terrible. And this might go into my rant section if you've got young children.
Oh, and the kids are going nuts in the
They
background.
were going psycho.
What?
And I have never been so humiliated in my life. I was going from room to room, shut the door, banging on the door. I'm trying to have this specialist appointment. I was nearly in tears. And he's like, look, time's up. I'm sorry. And I go straight to the reception, get put through, had to pay $300 because that was this appointment, hang up, and I burst into tears.
Oh.
And I was like, that was a specialist appointment wasted because my kids couldn't let me talk.
That's ranting
And
the
were-
kids, sorry. That's
Yeah,
ranting the kids.
having a tantrum.
What is it about them being on the phone? It just unleashes the fear.
I actually feel like bursting into tears now because it's like, why couldn't you just let me talk? I warned them.
Yep.
Nah.
I had the same thing with my job interview for the job I just had. My daughter was at home. I'm like, cool, because a Zoom interview.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, daughter, 5
Yeah.
minutes, 10-minute interview, gave her the iPad.
Yeah.
As soon as it started, knock, knock, knock on the door. And I'm like, go away. Go away. But my boss understood because she's a grandma, so she gets it. But it's like, do you have to do it now?
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Every time
like
on
a
the phone.
Switch gets flicked in them.
Oh, God.
Another one with modern medical appointments is, you've brought this up, Dr. Google.
Dr. Google.
They never... Oh, I've never had it in the past with Dr. Google, but I feel like a lot of the super clinics, especially where it's like a quick turnaround with
my God.
patients.
Yes. The amount of times I've had a Dr. Google in front of me.
It's like, I can do that myself.
You're the doctor.
Please.
Oh, my God.
Next thing you're saying you've got a brain tumor. It's like, no, that's what Dr. Google says. That's what I came here for. Please.
Yeah. But look, if I can give a bit of a rave to something, my son was really, really sick this year and I got really worried. So there's an online, a telehealth, but for hospitals.
Oh, okay.
And you get put through to a nurse, but it's like a hospital nurse. So she will advise you if you need to go to emergency or not. That was great because he was stuck in bed.
Yeah.
And I was like, so you do it as a Zoom call.
Yeah.
But at least there is that option. You can wait in your room with your kid.
Exactly. Put it on speaker and you don't have to be uncomfortable in the emergency room.
God, yeah, it's great.
That's true. What I will rant about. Jeez, one day I'll get the rant rave right in my head. With my local GPs, before I go, as soon as I book the appointment, they'll send you an email, confirm this is right, email the day before, confirm you're coming, yes. Can you fill out this questionnaire beforehand about what you're going to be talking about, how many issues? Yeah.
Oh, you're joking?
Yeah, and you've got to do a quick rundown of what you're going to be talking about there. So it's like, and then when you get there, you go over the same thing again. So it's a lot of unnecessary paperwork for me.
I was going to say there is that knowledge now that, your standard GP appointment is 1 to 2 standard issues.
Yes. But now that because they want the information beforehand, so by the time I get there, they're prepared, but they still ask me the same questions.
Because they're behind on time.
I know.
And they want to hear, so it's just doubling up.
It is doubling up for everyone. I know they're under the pump, but it's like it just gives me extra work to do for no reason, I find. My rant about it, I think it's not necessarily modern medical appointments, but the local, again, super clinics, is that I can't get a regular GP. There's just no regularity about it. So, but I think that's more of our healthcare system at the moment. So
it's different, isn't it?
It is, because growing up we had a family
Same
doctor every week.
Yeah.
Every week. Hopefully not every week. But they just know you and you grew up with them.
I still have my family doctor from when I was 8. I still see him.
That's very lucky.
He was very surprised when he saw me because I've moved very far away.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you're back. Yeah, he's known me since I was 8.
See, I love that.
Yeah, I love it too.
He's got
the
no
best.
regularity. So, yes.
I was going to look for a new mum, the maternal health hotline.
Yeah.
Because my son was very sick when he was born. And I was very, very stressed out and nervous by myself at home. I would call them nearly every day saying, oh, he's developed this rash, this is happening, that. And it was more to put my mind at ease.
Yep.
Suffering a bit of PTSD after that situation. So they're fantastic. The nurses that work there, I have never, ever had an issue. They are beautiful women.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, so
now do we rant or rave?
Yeah, so before we went through these things, I was more going to rant. I prefer the old school. But now bringing that up.
Yeah.
And the accessibility.
And it's free. Oh, well, the maternal health line is free, but also talking about Lifeline as well and all those things. Like, I mean, they need donations, obviously, but just having that out there, it does provide a bit of a safety net for mental health wise as well.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like I'm always raving every week, Mez.
That's good.
And maybe I'm just a positive person, but I'm going to rave modern medical appointments because they have served me well. Granted, I do love seeing my doctor face to face, but for those emergency situations, it's a rave from Vons.
Okay, I think I've switched actually. I was going to start off with a rant, yes, and the points for it outscore the points against it, so I'm going to rave as well.
Yay! Did you ever know that you're my hero? Miz, today we're doing Who Did It Better, Beaches or Steel Magnolias?
Well, my husband's going to be very excited about this one.
My husband isn't here and I have not stopped crying since last night researching these films. I just burst into tears. I'm an emotional mess and I love it. It was really therapeutic.
Cathartic, yes.
Cathartic. Okay.
It's going to be a tricky one, I got to say.
Very tricky. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, please.
Okay, it's very tricky. So with Beaches, the tagline was the friendship you'll always remember in the film you'll never forget. And Steel Magnolias was the funniest movie to make you cry.
Oh,
And boy, oh boy, were they not wrong.
I think that's the word funny there splits the two because Steel Magnolias definitely had a bit more of a comedic element than Beaches.
Yes.
So that's different.
But it had a different comedic element.
Yeah.
Well, should we go start with Beaches first?
Yes, sure.
So leading women, Bette Midler as Cece Bloom from New York. And who played her younger self?
Oh, yeah, the Blossom.
Mayim Bialik.
Yes, I don't know how to say her name. Yes.
Yes. And also Barbara Hershey as, was it Hillary Whitney Essex.
Yes.
The rich kid from
Yes.
San Francisco.
Yeah, the rich versus the working class, I suppose.
Well, yeah, she was a performer, wasn't she?
She was, but I think, they weren't very uppity.
Do you know what I didn't notice? The mum of Cece was the mum from the Greek wedding.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm schwitzen. God, what a great movie.
It was a great movie, and their friendship, they're very odd couple. The odd couple.
Yeah.
And I love it reminds me of us, but not the odd couple, but in regards to
My Cece.
I think we can both be CC sometimes. But just following their friendship from like the start to throughout the whole life and their life's journeys, being jealousy,
yes.
men, divorce,
Cheating.
career, like the whole journey. So that's very.
But there was a bit of a class war
Yes.
between them because do you remember when Cece did the Broadway musical about boobs?
Yes, yeah.
And the song, what was the song? Otto Titsling. And it was about boobs and bras. And it was
and
this
the
big,
pussy, yeah.
like Cleopatra comes out with these
Oh, Joan
oversized.
yeah.
And what's her name? Hillary was just sitting there cringing.
Yeah.
And like she's
My
full on
gosh.
into it. She was like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that caused another fight. That was another fight because they realised how different they were.
Yes, yeah.
However, the men left.
When it comes down
Shit
to it,
hit the fan.
Yep. When it comes down to it, they're mates till the end.
Yeah, and it just proves that friendships do outlast any flippant relationships like with men.
True friendships do.
Yeah.
Friendships do. And I think it's just like going through your life's journey side by side, and you can sort of waver in and out of, like, away from each other as friends and then come back. But it's always there at its core. I loved the songs throughout, and I loved, the other musical that she was in with those masks, na 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 na.
yes.
I can't remember how the song goes.
Oh, I forgot that.
But then, A Wind Beneath My Wings, because obviously Bette Midler plays as an adult. She becomes a performer, so she sings these songs, and it goes beautifully with it, especially when Hillary's researching about her, her illness, and there's a song in the background that she sings. It's just beautiful.
Mez, one thing that makes me cry is Hands when Hillary recognised that she got the same hands as her daughter. This film makes me cry. That makes me very sad.
In a beautiful way.
In a very beautiful way. I think it was filmed really lovely.
It was. And I actually didn't watch it last night. Yeah, I actually didn't need to watch it because I think I watched it so many times growing up, it's embedded in my memory. And because, all of these themes and this friendship and this love and heartbreak when,
and the friendship continues on with her daughter.
Yes.
So even though
they didn't get
spoiler
along.
alert, no, they didn't. Although Hillary passed, CC took care of her daughter and made sure that she knew about her mum.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Okay.
Okay.
On to the next tearjerker.
Oh, here we go. Steel Magnolias. So centered around Dolly Parton Truvy's beauty parlor.
So I feel like you're going to have to lead the way because I have watched this a few times.
Yep.
But I don't remember as well as Beaches. So
Okay, so it had some big hitters in showbiz. Shirley MacLaine as Weezer. And she was like the hated character.
yeah, but comic,
lovable,
comic relief.
very
She's lovable. She's like the grumpy woman,
Yes.
but actually has a heart of gold. But
Yes.
is just pissed off at everyone.
And Weezer's best friend was Olympia Dukakis Clary.
Mm-hmm.
Sally Field as Malin. She's mum. God, wasn't she excellent?
So I know all the actors in both movies are fantastic, but I found Sally Field and Julia Roberts, who played her daughter, their acting.
Shelby.
And then, because I watched the scene where Shelby was having a little had a diabetic episode, and just seeing Julia Roberts and obviously Sally Field being a mum was looking after her, and it was just
The importance, the strength of motherhood, isn't it?
Yeah, and just both brilliant actors, and the roles together as mother and
my
daughter are
God.
fantastic.
And I was going to say Daryl Hannah's in
Hannah,
it
yep.
as Arnell.
Yep.
I said Dolly Parton and Tom Skerritt as Drum. And one thing I remember, if I can start and something funny, was the armadillo cake. And Weezer was serving the cake and she gives Drum the ass of the armadillo. And he's like, that's a nice piece of ass. And just eating it. Steel Magnolias is about a group of friends that go through grief, divorce, love, heartbreak, and also motherhood together. But also there's another good line. I don't know, the more I watch this as I'm older, I can relate to Weezer. And she's like, I'm not crazy. I've just been in a bad mood for 40 years. Like, yes, Weezer, I get that.
That's a saying in a previous episode. I feel like the older you get, those grumpy characters. I think we're talking about characters from the Muppet Show. But even there's a movie with Clint Eastwood, where he's like just looking at his neighbours, just like
Yes, Tirana or something.
Yes, Gran Torino.
Gran Torino.
Yes, I just feel like as you get older, those grumpy ass characters,
More
you
relatable.
relate. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
But with the difference I found with Steel Magnolias is about that the small town kinship that you know united. Everyone knows each other's business, but everyone's there for each other.
That's
in the end.
Exactly right. It's family in the end.
Yes.
But also I have to say another quote by Clary because she was newly widowed in the film.
Oh, okay.
And they're in the beauty parlor. She goes, if you can't find anything nice to see, come sit by me. I love it. And even, what about Sally Field's monologue?
At the funeral? Oh.
And it just touched on that motherhood. And she said, how her son left the room or the husband left the room.
Yeah.
And the father left the room. And she goes, and they say men are made of steel.
Yeah.
And it's actually women who are made of steel because it's a mum.
Don't you do it.
It's the mum that stays. And
Yes. Get it out.
It's the mum who's always there. So mums are very important.
They are
And
important.
then the funny thing was, she goes, I just want to hit something.
And then
And
Weezer.
Clary puts Weezer just slap her.
No, that's why I love it because it's this really heartfelt mother grieving, and that's the difference in the deaths. I think this mother's grieving her daughter, which is more like it's unimaginable, and they break that tension with that comedic.
Correct.
So I
love that.
Oh, but it's a great monologue.
Because even I think in one of the scenes, Shelby's son slaps Weezer as well, and they were like, that was well deserved. It's very good. But yeah, it really is a movie of strength. So who did it better?
Who did it
mate.
better? They're
Mez,
both great.
Look, I'm going to have to say both of them. I can't choose one because I've cried when recounting both films. And I'm going to cry when we press stop here. I need to get it out of my system.
I'll let you get it out. This is it. Beaches, I know off by heart. Steel Magnolias, not as much. But looking into them, they both do justice to the themes that they explore. Friendship, love, kinship, support, mother-daughter relationships, everything. So I can't split the difference. They're both winners.
Both wonderful. They both did it better. Did you ever know that you're my hero? Fly away the wind. Sponsored by Kleenex.
So, Bonds has composed herself.
As we wipe away the tears, we'd like to thank you all for joining us on this emotional roller coaster.
We hope you're coming back again next week. Please do.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.